BMW, it's one of the automobile industry or a company from Germany that produce a car all over the world. It's very, very, very powerful these days. It's one of the biggest company in the world that produce cars. So, who's the BMW? Today I want to talk about the BMW, how it started, and then when it was started, who founded the BMW. Welcome to JBN channel. Please consider subscribing while you're here watching and listening. Now, most of the people they are thinking maybe BMW was founded by Camillo in France and Carl Rep. No, that actually is not the case. Carl Rep only came with the name of BMW in 1916, but the original person who founded BMW, it was Gustav Otto. This is a man who founded BMW, and then they came on board, and then sort of like to assist. So they don't the people they think it's only France and Camillo and Carl Rep. They are not the guys who started the BMW. However, they contributed a lot in the BMW cars in order to BMW grow. Well, what did BMW those days? BMW those days, they did only the engine. When they started, they were doing just a motorcycle engine only. And then later, they produced an aircraft engine, which that's why Adolf Hitler, he saw an interest in them, and then he supported them most of the time with the slavery. Like, I'm gonna mention a lot of slavery because we know Adolf Hitler contribution into the World War II. Before they do a four-wheel vehicle, and they started by doing a motorcycle because they were so good on the motorcycle engine, and then for them it was easier for them to start at least with a two-wheel drive. So that's why they started with a two-wheel drive. So yeah, most of the people they don't know that the BMW they started from the motorcycle. They think it started from the cars. No, they started from the motorcycle. Now BMW they introduced themselves in the car industry back then in 1928, where they introduced their first model. It was called a Dixie, and in 1930 now they decided to go into a motorsport. Now there's a difference between cars, normal cars, and the sport cars. So themselves they decided they're gonna go via a sport cars, where else in a Mercedes Benz they were focused on the luxury cars, and the Rolls Royce they focused on the luxury cars back then. So them they decided no, they're gonna focus on the sport automobile instead. That is why they are very good on designing motor like sport cars sort of, and then they are very good on designing like a good engine, I would say so, because most of the time BMW, if you can check, they focus most on the straight six instead of V6 and V8 stuff like that. If they're putting a V8 and a V12, you must know that now that is very, very sporty. So the straight six and the four cylinder, most of the time that's what they are focused on. And yeah, most of the people they've loved, like I partially love. There's some cars that I love from BMW, not all of them, of course, but yeah, but it's the brand that has been successful, very, very successful since, especially in South Africa. People, we love BMW. Of course, not all of us. Everyone has his own taste in the car anyway. Now, BMW contributed a lot in the World War II. No, of course, providing the Nazi with the engines that could work in the war. So they contribute a lot in the world. That is why also they were supplied by slave people from the concentration camp, so that they can use free labor. So yeah, BMW they have contributed a lot in the war. That is why most of its facilities were destroyed after World War. Even during the World War, some of them they were destroyed. And BMW actually went bankrupt after World War II because of this thing of being destroyed their facilities, and then they went back again to start with the engines instead of building a cars. So actually they went bankrupt until one individual came in to take over and then put a big chunk of money to start again. Who this individual who put a chunk of money was so rich that he can rescue BMW? It was a guy called the name Kunta, Quanta, and he also benefited from slavery because he used to supply Adolf Hitler with ammunition and then also a battery. So he benefited a lot, and that's why he was part of also a Nazi team with the Hitler himself. So when the World War was finished, he had a good money, so he decided to rescue BMW. So that's why you see now BMW now they are surviving because of him. So, and even now the top shareholder on the BMW is from that family. In 1962, now they introduced the sedan, which is since then they were dealing with the sport cars. Actually, they were two-door when they started, so now they introduce at least a four-door sedan. It's because they love it so much. The sport now they called it the sport-oriented sedan. Then so that they at least they keep a name called sport in their DNA, because the sport, it was their DNA started with that, and they had to keep it like that. BMW they became so good in a way that they started to introduce more model when the years come. Well, then again in 1972, now they introduced in the 5 Series BMW, which is now that was starting to become a sporty and as well as a sedan. BMW sort of like a luxury, yeah, like as you see now. It's actually a good 5 Series. It looks good. This one is a M5. Just 2 years before I was born, they introduced a BMW, a 3 Series, that was 1975. In 1975, they came with a BMW 3 Series that was at least a cheaper car, so that maybe people could afford, because I believe maybe the 5 Series, it was expensive. This X5, that's my favorite, my current favorite BMW. I love this one very much. 1976, boom, 6 Series come in. Also, they come 1976 Series come on the boat. Then they carry on again. They expand. 1976 1978, in fact 1978, after the year I was born, the 7 Series come in. So also one of my favorite BMW. I love it. Yeah, it's a luxury sort of, but if money was not a problem, instead I would buy a Rolls Royce, because Rolls Royce still have a V12. I know BMW on a 7 Series most of the time they would use, if you want a fast BMW, it would be equipped with a V12 with on the 750 where they decided to put a V12 engine. So that is why myself I say if I would love to own the V12 engine, I would prefer to own at least the Rolls-Royce, because that one most of the time it comes with a V12 engine. So it comes with a V12 engine with also a good a luxury, and a very very good luxury on the Rolls-Royce. Well, that's a Rolls-Royce. It's a video for another day to talk about. So today we are focused mainly on a BMW. In 1978, while they introduced a 7 Series BMW, they decided, no, well, why don't we start with the M cars or M Sport cars? So whereby they introduced M Sport cars, then that is why the M5 now they will follow. In 1984 and in 1986, the M3 also will come into the line. So the people they still had a choice now to choose. Since now people they love BMW, they'll either stick with, normally a motorcycle, or they will go for BMW, normally BMW car, or they will go for a sporty one, which will be the M series. Now the M series that will include the M Sporty, whereby you buy your normally BMW, and then if you want that M Sporty package, and then they'll just add that M Sport package. It could be what it's like they've done it back 10 years or 12 years ago, whereby you'll buy the BMW individually those days. So if you buy BMW individually, then if you whenever you choose that you want that BMW individual, then they'll add anything that you want there. You just choose what you want, and then those days I think it was for free. Then you'll choose if you want a TV, you'll get a TV with a big screen there, and then you'll get whatever touch screen, features touch screen, I can't remember. And then if you get reverse camera, you get the sensors and what. It depends with the what do you choose. Once you choose individual, then that car, it will be loaded as yours specifically. So yeah, it's been like that. But nowadays, so if you want the M Sport these days, you buy it. If you want M Sport package, you must buy it. So you get that M Sport package, then you get M140i, then you get M2, you get M3, M4, M5, M6, and the M760 Li. The X drive that the BMW will call it. It's a finally BMW 7 Series that will be fitted with a V12 engine. After that, then they're not gonna put a V12 engine, because nowadays every automobile companies these days, they are shifting to electric vehicle or electric motor these days. So those big engines, they're going to be replaced by a small electric motors, which they will power the equivalent horsepower of maybe could be maybe V12 or a V8 engine, sort of in a silent mode. It's like I salute Elon Musk, because Elon Musk, when he came in with those electric cars, his electric cars, even the cheaper model, now they'll out beat the big sport cars. I've watched a video the other day whereby a Model 3, then it will beat at the C63 AMG with the speed and the takeoff. So yeah, these days electric is where a motor or automobile industry or automobile companies they are going on to. Lately, BMW and Toyota, they joint venture to produce a hydrogen fuel vehicle as soon as 2025. Well, thank you very much for listening and watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you very much for watching. Please, peace.